Have fun. Here we go. Have fun. D4. Boom. Have fun. E4. Next. Have fun. Waiting on the move. Have fun waiting on the move. And last one against the big bad chief. Have fun. Here we go. Likely to be very fast in the very beginning. Everybody loves the Caro. Let's see what happens there. Let's try the Sicilian here. And let's try another Sicilian. Why not? Okay. Let's go with this. Roy Lopez. Sveshnikov, potentially. Caro. Ooh, Smithmore Gambit. I will definitely be declining that. Whoa, the Bird's Defense. I remember when somebody got on my case that I didn't know that this was the name of the opening. I don't know the names of a lot of openings. Okay, so what do you do when you see the Bird's Defense out of the Roy Lopez? Because that's what they call it. The Bird's Defense. Is it for the birds? Just take that knight. What's the problem? I'll think about that move. Okay, let's do this. Nothing here yet. The chief. No, thank you. No, thanks. I don't want to enter that. Okay, now back here. What do? You challenge this pawn right away? It's castle. What's wrong with castling? C3? No. I'm going to castle because there's probably some tricky line with queen here. I don't want to deal with that. Let's castle. Queen G5, hitting at G2 and the bishop. Just castle. Throw a knight out. Capture, mainline land. Okay, so Sicilian, Marazzi bind. Okay. There's no rush with taking that pawn. This is a perfectly fine move to run with. So, do I want to go with the dragon in response to it? I'm not sure. I think just developing the knight is fine first. Let's break a pin and develop. Where do I go with my bishop? I think I want to stay here and then challenge this pawn next. Although, no, I don't know. Maybe I'll just run back to E2, play D3, and then look for F4. I back up. Is this going to be a pawn sack? Let me do this. No, I'll just take that pawn. I'm not afraid of that pawn sack. Okay. Pawn push is not good because of a queen A5 check with the fork. Let's pre-move that. Maybe I'll do a different one. No. Let me think about that. I might want to go a bit different. Let's go with the pawn. Maybe I could have a quick strike against this pawn somehow. That's why I'm going with the queenside development. Tuck my bishop back. This is going to get in, and I want to be able to go from F4 to H2 in one shot. I guess just D3. Okay. I'll be fine with this. Get my F pawn involved, the bishop pointing here eventually. Their D pawn can't move just yet. Nothing here, something here. I guess I should have been in pre-move mode with that one. I don't have a choice in that. Nothing here, something here. Now this is different. Okay, F4. So let's see about this. Let's see about it. How do you meet this structure? G6, bishop, G7. I don't know that this is correct, actually. I think I could be giving my opponent some problems. I think this is the correct way to go. Kingside fianchetto. Possibilities for check once castled. Let's see. Okay. Now, where do I go? All the way back to H2? That's what I said previously. If I take here, I'm doing what's referred to as giving up my center, giving up my central pawn. A4. Queen here puts pressure on this. Queen here. I don't know what the follow-up would really be. Oh, actually, okay, with this, the bishop is not around to defend the dark squares on the king side. This is one of the very early things I said in this stream with one of the games when there was a particular pawn move. Now the bishop is cut off from this section of the board, this quadrant. Meaning knight f6, bishop g5 is quite annoying. So I guess the knight might want to go here. A4. Threatens pawn takes. F4, knight f6, I don't have that pin anymore. F4, F5, and then here. Oh, bishop here. No, runs into knight tempo later. Knight here right now. Knight f6, is it going to be getting here? I don't know what I want to do. C3, F4, queen here. I'm going to try queen out. It looks very, very, very beginner-like. Very Anton Squared-like. Going for a scholar's mate, in other words. Okay. Establish a pawn in the center. E5. Let's go for that. Okay, and I guess I'll go with... Do I really want to capture... No, I'm more comfortable with that. I'm going to go with what I'm more comfortable with in this. Okay, nothing here. I guess the queen's ready to be annoying on this square, or is she? What was the last move? C6. So now if this pawn ever moves, this becomes a problem. C4, knight C3, or should I just castle first? Or no, queen B6 hits at both B2 and D4. So maybe I should just reinforce this point first. Okay, so I've induced some weaknesses, and if you'll note... Well, actually, you know what I'm very, very reminded of? I think the second game analysis video I've ever posted on my YouTube channel, I did something very similar, and the reason I did it was to induce a weakness. Now, I didn't know that this was going to be played, but I knew that if it was, it didn't have to be played. It could have been defended without committing a weakness, but now there's dark square weaknesses around the king side, and the bishop is not going to be around, I don't think, to defend those dark squares, but we're going to see about that, aren't we? Bishop c5, d6, d5. I don't know if I really want to open up the position just yet. I am 2 moves still away from castling. Might be okay, might not be. I might want to baby step it. Bishop here. Maybe I just want to do this. Play a bit more solid. Just reinforce this point. If this pawn pushes, there might be some knight g4, bishop c5, or queen b6 stuff later. Nothing here, something here. Knight right here. I don't see what's wrong with just getting more development in. Castle. That knight is out, and now I can stop castling. Bishop h6, knight g4. Bishop g5, h6. Bishop goes back. It's difficult to castle. About h3, h3, f4, knight h5 to g3 stuff might be annoying. I don't want this knight to get into this square. If I move my f-pawn right now, knight here to here might be a bit annoying. How about h3 pawn push? h3 threatens just stopping black from castling. Bishop h6, knight g4, bishop g7, rook g8. My bishop's trapped. I like h3. Okay, what's that queen up to? She's ready to play here, attack this pawn, and threaten bishop h6, which is quite annoying. So I'm going to defend this and maybe meet queen g3 with knight h5 and maybe g6 to follow or something. Could give a check on b6. I'm not sure what it would even lead to. Let me just get more development in. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing, nothing, nothing. All right. Whoa. what is going on with that move. Trying to get in G5, G4 to attack me? Is that what's going on? I can't let that happen. Huh. Wow. That is different. Okay, well, H4 comes to mind, actually, because this has my attention. My opponent has not committed the king to the king side, so queen c7, queenside castle can come quickly, and this g file or h file can open up very soon. My other thought was getting my knight somehow to d6 quickly, but I think that this comes quicker. Even if to give up a pawn if the h file opens up, that could be a problem. If anything, I think I'd much rather have what? I'd much rather have the g file open up than the h file? I don't know. What about queen here? You know what? I might want to move this pawn again. Just break down the center somehow quickly. Queen b3, I don't know what to do. I'm investing a lot of time early on here. This is an interesting idea. h4. Do I really want to do that? As soon as the knight moves, I have to do something about this. I could defend it with my bishop, but then bishop f6 stuff at some point. Could be losing a pawn. Well, tell you what. I'll go with this. I'm eyeing d6 with that. And now this is a giant pain, isn't it? This is going to be a giant pain without that dark square bishop around. Now I could castle. There's no fear of bishop h6 stuff. The queen is not yet on the g file. Let's get that in. That, I'm not sure what it's doing. Maybe I could take the knight out and then dance around with my knight right here. Reminded of a Nakamura game where he eventually plays a pawn up to e5 and then sinks in a knight right here. Forget who that was against. Maybe Carlsen or something? No, I forget. Anyhow, something with the knight. Kind of the knight being here, playing e5, and then the knight playing to e6 and then d4. I think it starts with this. This side who has less space. I think I might be okay with giving up the bishop here. Okay, no, I don't have a choice. Now this is a problem. Okay, I feel much better now. Much better in that game. Okay, now this is going to be a problem. Because I could open up this side of the board, maybe. I could also get my knight doing stuff. Pawn push, queen takes, bishop here is a threat. Pawn push, force bishop takes bishop so I could get play on the a file. I don't see how black can castle kingside ever. Or just get my knight out. How do you get out of this? Oh, actually queen f3. Oh, you know what? Queen f3 would force the knight to move. Queen f3, the knight must move. And when it does move, well, I think they would just move, and then I don't know what the follow-up would be. So, okay, knight right here, the queen has to do what? Not sure. What about just king h8? King h8. Gets out of bishop h6 stuff. I don't want to do this because it weakens the at h6 square. Let's get out of bishop h6 stuff. Back up. Nothing here. Something here. Okay, so I gotta... This is the direction I have to go. Somebody was asking in the chat a little bit ago about pawn structures, and the tip I gave was try and get another pawn right up next to your furthest advanced pawn. Well, he's my furthest advanced pawn, and this is the pawn break that I should really be going forward with. My bishop has a lot of scope as soon as this pawn pushed. Okay, and now I believe I do what? Is the queen really going to play here? Cause my bishop problems? I Get my f pawn involved. f4 if queen here, bishop g5. Could eventually have a queen trade. I think f4 is fine. Yeah, I have to be a little careful on this diagonal, but not really seeing anything. Rook here, bishop here, knight here in response to f4. Maybe a5, a4 stuff. Let's try that. In some sense, a minority attack. Okay, now what about weaseling my knight around? d7, c5. Exchange off darks. I'm one step closer to exchanging dark square bishops and having that e5, knight on d4 type of thing. Okay, I could take here. My knight is out of play. I'd much rather have him right there. However, wait a second. I could play bishop here, and then they can't castle unless the bishop is challenged. But maybe I should first put pressure on this pawn. Should I close it up? Pawn push? I'm definitely going to get attacked quickly with g5 if that happens. But what about bishop here? The knight moves, I just play this. And the knight goes to c8. I don't know if I really accomplished much. Oh, wait. Bishop d6, knight b6, pawn push, knight c8. I come to this square. I think stuff is okay there. Let's try that. Stopping black from castling. Okay, now I take like this, and now how does my opponent get their king safe? Can't go king side, can't go in the other direction. I guess bishop here. Just some more development. My bishop working. And challenge that bishop, I guess. I don't have anything better than the recapture. Nothing going on. Waiting on moves in all of the games, which is rare. Okay, we got action here. A couple boards. Whoa, opponent's really coming at me now. Should I be afraid? Okay, knight here is actually threatening what? The win of this pawn. Bishop g7 fork. Opposite my queen, that scares me. Queen here, she's on an unprotected square, so maybe b8 is better, so then I could do this a bit more freely. Just not sure. Queen here would keep my bishop defended, so I could still have a response of knight h5 if bishop g5 is played. I think it's okay to play my queen here. Let's try that. Queen c7, nothing here yet. Okay, what do I do? Bishop here is available. The knight is pinned. Maybe I want to do what first? Get my rook on c8? Or my knight on c5 maybe? Do I really want to exchange dark square bishops? Knight here, b4. I could take the bishop, but knight c5, the bishop goes back, and then b4. Where does my knight go next? Maybe knight c5 to e6 right away, and then d4. And then maybe I could get at this square somehow. Try it. Okay, it is being challenged, so alright, let us take that dark square bishop. And now, okay, now I don't have that idea available anymore. My bishop is kind of stuck. I'm just realizing that now. I should have realized it a lot sooner. Okay. Pawn push in the center. Open stuff up. Pawn push takes. I need some more support. If I play rook here, bishop b4 is annoying. Maybe get out of this and then play c3. I think I want to challenge this pawn. I need to get my king out of the way first. Now what? Pawn push in the center is threatening a fork. Pawn push takes. The knight can make use of b5 with tempo. That's another difference between c7 and b8. There's possibility if I want to push forward in the center, the knight can maybe be making use of b5 after there's a capture on d5. Huh. I want to trade dark square bishops. Can my knight do something else? He's kind of not doing anything. Yeah, I want to keep this pawn right here. So what direction do I go in? Rook g8 with this move? Is that actually a possibility? That actually might be something. Give it a shot. Seems interesting. I don't want to bring that queen out. Okay, and now knight e6, jump in here, and then maybe jump into b3 at some point. I think that could be disruptive. The knight recaptured. Okay. Takes first, and then my knight needs to do something. He's definitely out of play. Both b5 and c4 are guarded. Do I open up the f file? Probably not. This is a weakness. Pawn push I really don't want to do. I want to be able to bite at this point. Let's get my rook here. The c files are going to open up soon. My opponent is preventing everything it is I want to do. But they're not preventing me from taking this pawn. And then I could get here. That's a blunder. That is a blunder, I'm pretty sure. I don't see what the trick is. What's this king up to? Okay, g5 with knight here to follow. Pawn takes, bishop takes is a blunder because of knight h5. I could always recapture and defend my unprotected knight. So g5... Is that just too crazy? I want to sink my knight into this square. That's the main idea. g5. What do I do after queen f3? g4. And if pawn takes, bishop takes, I get the exchange. Looks pretty crazy. And I'm not one to really do crazy things. But I'm going to try it. Okay. Knight right here. Should take that knight. Knight here, bishop here. Knight here defends this pawn, stops the fork idea. Okay. Queenside castle is the direction I want to go in. So now I could cripple this structure. Which knight should go here? This knight is a bit sensitive. Knight d4? Or is there any rush? Just bishop here. Pawn push, induce a weakness, and then knight here. Maybe I want to get a little bit more out of my knight's position on c6. With first a5, and only after this advance, then I jump in here, and then my knight can maybe play here later. I like that idea. I like this idea. First a5 instead of being too quick to pull the trigger on this d4 square. Okay. My knight needs to reposition. Let's go. You gotta go home. Oh, this is a deadly fork. Deadly fork on c6. Hitting everything. Okay, I can grab this rook or this bishop. Just grab here. Should just push this bishop away. No, just take the rook. Quit getting fancy. Quit getting fancy. Now I just want to open the position up, and the way to do that is to create pawn exchanges. So, pawns are engaged in that one, and now I can jump into this square. I've weakened this, and now this becomes more of a target on c4. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, something here. I'm in a pin. Bishop here to here picks off that pawn. I could also play this and then this, both with tempo. Let's do that. There's no rush with bishop g7. And now, knight here to here comes with check. Okay. I'm liking that position a real lot. That idea of rook g, rook to g8. I could do another tempo. This is actually working because I could get that with check. My opponent is flying. Let's take this with check. I don't have a choice. Nothing here just yet. Okay, pawn push, and then the knight is dead. Nothing here. It's guarding this square, but push, and then there's an issue with that knight. Big time. Okay. Oh no. Thought I was just losing a piece there. I might be losing a piece. Oh man, I'm losing a piece. No, I'm not. I can't take this knight just yet. I have to take with my pawn, and after takes, I gotta take with my knight. But the king side is certainly opening up. Oh boy. Let's see here. I haven't really been looking at my clock in these games. Bishop takes, pawn takes. I think I end up losing a piece. Knight takes pawn, pawn takes. Both my bishop and knight are hit. I could get the rook and pawn for 2 minor pieces maybe, but I think I have to take here. Gotta do that. I'm pretty sure I'm forced into it. So now let me just finally grab that. Now that knight's crunched. I'm down to less than 10 minutes. Let me throw in a check here. Gotta go faster. Nothing here. Nothing here yet. Okay, I gotta do this, and I'm on the bishop. This is very dangerous. That's what you call a dangerous position. I'm up a pawn, but it's scary. It's very scary. Okay, just make sure the queens get off the board there. That's a 1 game, but I have to be careful of my time. Careful about my time in that one. I don't care about grabbing a pawn. I want to stop this rook from getting active. Okay, now the queen is kind of out of play. Like this, open up the file. Or like this, open up this diagonal. I think I'd just like this. Towards the center unless I have a good reason not to. Challenge that knight and pawn. I think pawn takes was best. Now I'm feeling much more comfortable. Bishop takes. I have bishop checks. Let's throw in a check. Get the rook off soon. Let's get the rook off. And get this c-pawn rolling. Nothing, 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 nothing yet. Let's get my pawn rolling. F-pawn is passed. Bishops are off. I'm up a rook. And that pawn is passed. So now queen here. How do you defend this pawn? Could always do this as well. Queen here. The knight has to play there. And if the knight is here, the pawn can't push. And this is my biggest fear, really. Queen here might be pretty good too. Now I'm going to go this. More active. Get in d5. Okay, my opponent resigned in that one. Good game. Let me close out. 4 games. And now, I think now I break in the center. This bishop comes to life, but I need to do stuff here. I need to open the position up. The king is in the center. Can also consider maybe pawn push, remove this pawn, and then do this. And then the knight can't be making use of this square later on. Pawn sack with f5, and then just back up, and then this advance. Try that. Queenside castle. Yeah, this is a dangerous move. That's the move that was making me think, oh. So I think rook here or something. I'm in trouble. I'm definitely in trouble. Oh man, is this dangerous? It's very dangerous. Wow. What a nasty battery right here. Can't move my knight. I'm getting mated there. I can't move my bishop to try and guard there. Oh, rook here allows my knight to maybe come back to f8, but can I do that in time? Oh man, I'm in big trouble. I'm in very big trouble. What is the defense here? Is there even one? This knight is free to move as well after the queen played there. Interesting pawn advance. I didn't even consider it. f5. Was too fixated on a5 and then inducing a weakness here, but that f5 push became very disruptive. Let's see. Rook e8, and then maybe get my knight back or something in time. I think that's maybe my best shot. It's scary. I might have to allow the queen to actually grab there. We're going to give it a shot, though. Don't you dare give up just yet. I think that's the best move. So let's go with it. And now let's get the pigs rolling here. And let's back up. It's a pawn sack. That wasn't on purpose. Pawn push, open things up. They're not castled just yet. Let's open stuff up here. Wow, my opponent is flying. Oh man, I'm dead. Do you see the mate? I should just let it finish like this. Knight takes bishop is met with a mate in 2. Queen takes pawn, king f8, knight g6, game over. Pawn would be pinned in that position. Knight here. Knight right here. This is going to get violent. I have to be very precise. And it might already be losing. Computer would certainly be saying, who is the winner? Probably not me. For this pawn, look at all the activity white has. There's no way this could be good for black. Absolutely not. I don't see any way out. Knight d4. Knight d4. I think I have to try just like knight d4 or something. Man. How's the clock situation on these others? I don't have much time in that one. I gotta do something. This is probably busted, so let's try that. I gotta do something. Let's open the position up here and follow through with my D in there. And do I take just yet or do this first? Takes, knight takes, the knight's ready to play here. So before I bring that knight to life, let me guard b5. My opponent's thinking in that game, which is good. Oh man. Okay, my opponents are all thinking. Should probably be focused on this one. What do I do if bishop takes? Chop, chop. Also, I mean, I have to get in this move because my queen is on the knight also. This is, look how complicated that is. My first thought when I see this position is you better calculate accurately or you're dead. You're dead. It's my first thought. If you don't calculate right, you're dead in a move. All right, 8-minute warning in this one. Less than 10. I have a time edge in this one. Okay. Okay, now I could do some damage somehow. Dark square weaknesses. Bishop here, and then pile up on this pawn. This pawn extra is kind of non-existent. So let's do this first. Rook g3, double on the g file, and it's very difficult to defend against g2. So I can open up this side of the board, but should I first take on this square? I'm going to do this. I want to force this bishop to take mine so I could open up, so the h file could open up. Okay. Avoiding that exchange. I don't want to allow the queen to blockade. Do I want to allow this advance? I don't want to allow that blockade. Passed pawn. I'm going to have to try and make it work. If it simplifies too much, maybe that pawn could turn out to be a liability. We're about even on time here. There we go with b5. Okay. Can I get a weakness here? This knight is unprotected. Let's just try to create some stuff opening up. My rook in there. Okay, here we go. Now that is... Oh, man. You know what's going to happen? Bishop takes, rook takes. I somehow think I could maybe save that, though. I don't know. Boom. Rook takes. Bishop takes, queen takes. Man. Pawn push. I'm going to end up having to play here. Oh, I get 2 minor pieces for that, no matter what. Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't really have anything. I couldn't move that knight anyhow. Yeah, of course the rook's going to sack right there. Well, I better go with that. That's busted. That game is busted. The rook wants to play here to defend. Still feel like this is the correct thing to do. Bishop takes, huh? Knight here, I end up in a fork. Pawn push, my opponent ends up in a fork. Pawn push, bishop takes. I just recapture, the bishop's hit and then the h-pawn is hit. I think that works out. Yeah, this is busted. I am forced into this sequence. I've been forced into this sequence of moves for some time. So 2 minor pieces for the rook. Man. Really not seeing a save at all. No way. A long way off. There's no way to stop the queen from getting here. The threat is really take here, followed up with removing my last defender. I need to get my queen involved. So I have to drop that pawn. That's busted. Okay, what do I do now? Bishop here. No, actually, let me... Do what? There's some tactics on this square with rook checks. Bishop here, bishop takes, rook g1 stuff. Okay, now I just have a fork. Pre-move that. Okay. Had no choice there. No choice in that one. Yeah, something should happen on these squares. This knight is out of play. Okay, I could take that. Oh, is there going to be knight takes right here? I think I could run away. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. The knight can't get in. I could take here. Although then the rook would come to life after pawn captures. I should be concerned with that. Huh. I think I need to defend this pawn. Maybe I should just push. Chase the knight away and then take here. So I was thinking bishop f1, but let me be more aggressive. h4. Let me be more aggressive in a more opened position, more direct, more think more dynamically. Okay, what's going on here? No moves in these 4 games. Started with 5 if you're just joining in the live stream. 4 opponents remain. Okay. This one is just dead. Like, I'm going to be very reactionary. I'm just not... Well, maybe... Is there some activity somehow? I don't know. Okay, my opponent moved here. Let's take that. And then... knight here. No, let's do this. Bishop h2 check is the threat. Nothing here yet. My opponent is just running the numbers on how to kill me. F5. That pawn break crunched me. I was not in a position to do well with that. Okay. Well, I feel like I should take here. Give up the 2 rooks for the queen and pawn. Give a check on g7. And then take on this square. And I don't think that there's going to be a save. The 2 bishops and the queen and the rooks. They're just too much uncoordination. Okay, this is going to kill me. I can't take the knight because I'm getting mated here. What are my options? Very little. Queen here, bishop h6 is brutal. The knight is going to be soon to be doing stuff. Queen where? Man, should I even be thinking about this one still? Oh, I don't have anything. The queen here, I guess, to defend against this. Oh, but we're just going to be having bishop here. This is so dead. It's so dead. My queen's unprotected from that square. Bishop here, bishop g6. I had been planning pawn push. Let's just see how my opponent crushes me. This is beat. Whoa. That is a move I did not expect. What's going on with that? I don't understand. What is going on with that move? Pawn takes. Queen here is the only thing I could think of. I don't understand. I should have been in pre-move with that. This bishop's annoying. I want to remove it. Let's actually open up the H file. Okay, queen check. Grab this pawn next. Nothing here just yet. Time 6 minutes, about 8 minutes. I have a time edge in this one, about even in this one. Action. Okay, keeping it closed. Knight here, and then grab this pawn. I'm okay if pawn takes. The G file opens up. I am up a piece in that, so I could give material back. Okay, that is not usually the follow-up to be afraid of after you sack a piece, making a king move. But let's see. Just knight takes here. Seems good. Now I can get on this diagonal. Opponent's in check. Very limited with the responses. Okay, here we go. So now... Oh, yeah. Oh, actually... Yeah, I'm going to be down a piece now. Could just take on that square. Might have to just go a single step. Now, single step bishop here with the threat of queen h8 and then taking the bishop. I don't have anything. Pawn push, chop, chop, bishop, rook takes, king here, queen takes bishop, king here. Bishop probably throws in a check. Let's just see how it finishes. This is dead. Bishop h6 might be a good move as well, and now I'm getting pressure on this knight. Okay, and now I take here, and there's not really a good defense to getting my queen here, because I have g1 covered right here. Okay, looking to get into this square, I guess. I do have bishop here, however. Bishop there. Let's just see how this one finishes up. Who can figure out the killing blow? I think there's several. Several in this one right here. I think the other ones are actually... The other ones are actually what? Are looking favorable. So this is a problem. I'm just up a piece, and that's an annoying pin. The queens are going to come off. This is an endgame, me being up a piece. I have 5 minutes to figure it out. This imbalance, I don't know that there's going to be a solution. I'm threatening mate on g2. Material has to be given back. This queen is having some trouble here. And now... I think actually this is a tactic that works. Knight takes, bishop takes, queen check. If the bishop blocks, then it's going to lose the queen. I think that just works. Let's just do that. Knight takes f2. There we go. Got nothing better. Oh, and you know what? As soon as I take away from here, guess what? This knight has this square. You see it? I got nothing. Nothing doing. I should just resign this. See the final shot. Let's just get those off. Okay, now that's actually mate. Okay, good game, you pull. And also good game to Fiend Keto. Okay, let me do what? Keep things really simple. How do you do that? Pawn push next. Good enough. Okay, now, oh, I didn't consider king takes. Okay, still should be all right. Bishop, queen check here is working. The bishop's pinned. Bishop is pinned. Yeah, there's nothing. This is my only move, really. And now we have a knight fork. Just let it happen. See that tricky knight fork, and then that's GG. That is what you call game over. Just going to defend that pawn. I don't want this guy to get past. Okay, now I take here with check first. That's the idea. Get that piece back, and this one's game over. Good game to Chess Chief. That is a resign time. F5. F5 is the one square that I think about when I think about that game. Okay, my opponent has very little time in this one, and now I believe it's time to just do what? Not complicate things. Okay, these are both winning endgames. Grab that pawn. Grab this pawn. Doesn't really matter. I'll repair the pawns. I'm up a piece in both of these games, in these endgames. Okay, and now let me give a check. Okay, the bishop's in a pin. What do you do to pinned pieces? You attack them. Then the king plays here. Let me just do this. Maintain these two guys. And then the rook isn't doing anything. So just take that. And now what? There. Just take there with check. And then here, no matter what. Less than a minute. My opponent is playing off of the increment in this game. I know that feeling in other simuls. It's not easy to continually be accurate. All right. They resigned. Good game, Glamdring. Let's close out of that. And now I just want to get my rook. Where? I wanted to go here and then get behind the pass pawn, but let's play here. I played to c1, the rook plays there. Last game. Started with 4. Let's see. Now what? How would you finish this? I want to get my king up to this square. Let's get my bishop all the way back. Push my pawn. Push him again. Push him again. Keep pushing him. And here we go. I'm also looking to just get behind him. Just keep that king out of here. There's no rush. Patience. Absolutely no rush. And there's no rush. There's no rook here because of a skewer. Hang on. No stalemates. There's always that pawn to move. If king here, maybe I could throw in a check. It doesn't matter at this point. This one is GG. Right? Oh, 2 pieces and a bunch of pawnies. My opponent was saying not too much ammo left for Team Black. I agree. My opponent is typing away again. What are we going to have? Resign time? You are welcome, Mr. Giant QB. Thanks for the game, you said. And some other kind words. Thank you for that. Okay, good game to you as well. And to everybody else that took part in this. Namely Giant QB, Fianchetto66, Upole, Glandring, and Chess Chief 09. Thank you for that successful simul.